I'm live.
Live to the world. You're good if you just want to unmute here and then you're live to the world.
And geez, do I have to do
And what,
this?
just hit the video? Just
So you'll be able to
We'll see
talk
Wayne.
and
All right. Oh, God.
This is exactly the same computer I have at home. And you're actually in here.
Is it?
I want to see where my
So
head.
you're
was.
already,
Back there, yeah.
You can
okay.
see where my head was, so where's my whole body was in here.
I definitely love First Amendment rights. That makes me dangerous.
You're dangerous.
First Amendment rights.
I don't see you throwing rocks and stuff.
Ain't throwing rocks.
And Molotov cocktail.
That's not my style, but
Right to,
is there names here?
no, just pick a where a computer is.
All right.
Where,
Okay.
was the door open, Larry?
Sorry.
Larry, was the door open?
Hi, Good.
Was the door open? You're here for 1 year.
No, you have to be 6 feet apart.
That's-
That's why she has them appropriately placed. Maybe we're not quite 6 feet, George. Want me to move down?
Pardon?
Testing.
Like that?
You have to talk into the microphone, you're saying?
it would be better so everybody can hear you at the end, so you don't have to shout yourself.
Oh, so we should talk into
You'd be surprised how my
Gotcha.
voice carries.
do we leave these unmuted? But do we have to leave these unmuted anyhow?
You can mute it if you'd like, but if you want to have everybody else hear you, anybody who's not here, you'll need to be unmuted for them to hear you.
Are these tied into the Zoom meeting outside the remote? So we just use these. What's this?
Oh, 5:31. We can go, right? I guess, are you in? Are you on?
I got paperwork, so I'm good.
How
Okay.
do we get this thing pushed to start?
Does he have to be on? Does it matter? Does it matter if Larry's not on Zoom?
It doesn't necessarily seem to be picked up by other people. But it would be better for everyone if you get in there. We can start now, though.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You got it set up for.
Yeah, but they have to do a few things. Okay, let's call to order East Stroudsburg Area School District Board of Education Property and Facilities Committee meeting, July 1, 2020 at 5:32. For the Pledge of Allegiance, wherever the flag is, down here. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of
The United States of America, to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Certainly hope that is the case.
Okay, roll call, Rebecca.
Here.
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 I need a motion to approve the minutes for June 3rd, 2020 meeting, along with the agenda for July 1, 2020, with members of the committee reserving the right to add to the agenda and take further action in the best interest of the district. Can I have a motion for that? Anyone? Do we hear crickets?
So motion.
Motion by George. Second? Anyone?
You gonna second that, Larry?
I'll second it.
I didn't hear it, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's just for the agenda minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And we're all in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
I
Let's
don't
talk
like
about
this
the
little
next
box.
properties and facilities meeting is scheduled for August 5th, 2020. So there seems to be some conflict as we're doing Zoom meetings back to back, and we obviously won't be able to run two at one time. So if we want to move the meeting to a different time or day, we should probably have that discussion and decide that tonight. I personally am not available Thursday evening and some Mondays, which would conflict with the MCTI committee that I'm on, since it's the first part of the month. Does anybody have any?
Well, then that leaves Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday would be fine.
So is everybody, is there other meetings that would, any meetings that would conflict with that?
Tuesdays because of the holidays. Monday is on Monday.
Well, it's only going to be a conflict if it's only going to be a conflict if it's the beginning of the month, right?
Yeah.
What's the conflict with George?
No, he's saying other meetings.
Tuesday?
There are other board meetings on Tuesday.
Okay, so do we want to change that?
I can change it.
Yeah.
I don't mind changing it to the 4th.
August 4th at 5:30?
Wayne, is that okay?
Well,
with-
I'm looking to change him for Tuesday nights, first Tuesday of every month moving forward.
No, I understand that. I'm asking, are you available? Tuesday nights are okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm making that Thursday wasn't gonna happen, so.
That will be,
So moving forward, for August, we'll do August 5th. August 4th, 2020,
5:30, right?
5:30.
Or do we want it 7 o'clock?
No, 5:30 is fine.
No, 5:30 is better.
That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I can do earlier if you guys want to do earlier. I don't know what anybody's availability is.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
not
so-
in control of that.
So the 4th at 5:30.
Okay.
And then moving forward, we'll try to do the first Tuesday unless it conflicts with anything moving, you know.
I'm not aware of that ever.
So- Okay. Items requiring action. High School North Lehman Intermediate Door and Window Replacement Proposal, and we have two proposals in your packet. One from AG Company, am I saying that right? And Liberty Door System.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, that was good. It was a little bit confusing looking at those two separate.
And they did the
Yeah.
numbers didn't match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are proposals for the same door window systems up at North and Lehman, and this is in the cafeteria area, one on one side of the north.
Can you bring your mic down just a little bit? Thank you.
The door window system on the north side of the cafeteria and on the Lehman side of the cafeteria. And they mirror each other. So this is two separate units, but it's one proposal for the two units for the entire job. And A.G. Morrow is CoStar's affiliated, and they have also performed work satisfactorily for the district in the past.
And was this originally done just so we can move the people out of the cafeteria more quickly? For safety reasons, or is this just a replacement?
This is a replacement because both of these units are deteriorating. There's deterioration issues with both of these units. The framing is deteriorating on these units.
What's causing this? It's a 20-year-old building. This is aluminum. What's causing it?
Well, the exterior of it may perhaps be from rock salt in the past, but it's also deteriorating on the interior of the units also. Could be moisture coming in from units throughout the years also. I'm not really sure exactly what the cause is. It's been happening for quite several years now, quite 2 years. In fact, before I arrived at the district, they had nothing in good shape.
I didn't get a chance to look, but are these on a capital project or is this?
They are, and it comes almost 5,000. The capital, we budgeted these through capital for 65,000. So A.J. Morrow's proposal is 5,000 less than what budgeted for. However, with this proposal, and I believe it's noted on their proposal, I think it's on the second page, that some of this work may have to be done on weekends, and AJ Morrow is fine with that, depending on what school looks like when we resume. Because if this gets board approved at the end of this month, it could take a few weeks for them to receive their materials. And then by that time, we may have students back at school. So they can perform some of the work while we are in school, but some of the demo part of the work will have to be done on weekends, which we're willing to do and stated in this contract also. We just have to make those arrangements.
So
But I want
that,
I'm sorry.
so that's included in our
It
pricing?
is,
or-
yes. I just want the committee to be aware of that, there would be some work going on, and they would close off the area for safety concerns during school. And then they would work on the weekend with the heavier demo part of it. So this would go, more than likely take place during school year, just so we're aware of that. With whoever we go with, of course.
So then this elevation plan that I see includes the entire wall?
That's correct. That's correct. You would see the, and again, this is two sets. You see one set in front of you. This is, say, for the north side, and then identical for the east side. So you have the 4 sets of doors, and then the glass and aluminum framing.
Scott, just to reiterate, though, it was the contractor that gave us this one, and we didn't have a plan.
That's correct. I took them up on site and showed them the units, and they took their measurements, and then he came back with a proposal, and it came with this sketch. And then last week I went up with their drawing and measured accuracy against the drawing, and it is accurate.
This was a big jump.
Yeah, so it's an elevation of the wall, but the replacement is really just the doors.
No, the doors and the surrounding window units that you see.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
It's all damaged, right?
I'm assuming that on the
Did we
exterior.
purchase rock salt this past winter for up there?
We purchase every year for the district.
So why are we using salt if we're replacing concrete steps, sidewalks?
Maybe I smelled,
and
I may be using the wrong terminology.
So are we going to stop buying salt?
I'm not sure the price that we're gonna start, continue buying or not. This is through the bid package, the ICU package. However, as I think I mentioned in the past, I put a plan in place with our custodians that we remove any kind of ice melt that we put down immediately after safety conditions warrant. We are removing it away from doors and buildings. That's been in place for probably 2 years or so now.
Okay, so
Hey, Josh, does these numbers look good to you? I mean, I paid less for my house than a couple of doors here, you know?
The second proposal is at 86,000.
So
it's
I
windows.
didn't look too closely, but a budget square footage of about 65 bucks a square foot for insulated storage system is not out of the question. So I don't know what's our overall area here.
We've got 10-foot height by,
A couple of years ago, we paid 160,000 for the window up here in the library. Just if you want to put anything in perspective.
You also
I thought that was ridiculous too.
But that was like a front door, entry door.
And then after it was put in,
What's that?
the window, how many times did they come back and work on it before they got the leaks fixed?
Before we approved it.
And after?
I'm not aware about it.
34 by 10.
Scott, was there a reason that we're replacing all the windows?
It's all one unit. It is all one unit.
Oh, okay.
Larry, do you have?
So what are the
anything for
proposal
Cletus?
numbers here?
Do we have any discussion for Cletus? Because he's on. Is there anything,
Let's ask him if he has something.
So 59,000.
like, is there anything?
Yeah, so
Besides that? Like, okay, never mind.
particularly for a storefront system, I'd say between about 45 and 50,000. Plus you have to figure the the doors and the hardware for the doors. So I guess, you know, my initial reaction would be it's at least the one that is in the 50s. What were the two?
59 watt and 86.
And 59 is the Co-Stars? Yeah, I mean, that does not to me seem outrageous. The 86 seems like that one might be high, but the 59, you know, just very quickly doing a takeoff doesn't seem to be like that would be too outrageous now.
Scott will put these.
What did you, he didn't hear you, George, I'm sure.
No, only AG Morrow is Co-Stars. Liberty Doors is not.
Okay, well. Okay, well, I'll make a motion to accept AG Company for $59,185. Would anybody want to second that?
What was that?
I said I'll make the motion to
So
accept AG. Wayne, second. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Right.
Okay, so I am in favor. I guess Wayne is too, since he seconded the motion, so 3-1.
Well, where you get to, all right?
What's that?
He doesn't like the price. I'm assuming,
Yeah,
because he bought a house for that.
yeah.
I did too, so yeah, I understand.
I know it's expensive, but where do you want to get another?
Well, it's under a capital, it's under, the capital was 65,000. It's under the capital cost.
Well, I'm gonna be upset if we're using rock salt moving forward.
Okay, High School North boiler repair proposals. We have 3 there, Tim, HG Land, and L&L boilers.
Yeah, I'd like to bring to the attention to the committee that dual temp is the lowest proposal that we received. However, I reached out to them on several occasions, and I have it documented, asking them for some updates on the proposal, one being the valid date, which if you'll note on the proposal top right, is valid until June 7th, which has expired. They did not reach back to me, did not answer my telephone messages in an attempt to have them update the date on this. Also, I wanted to ask them about if they would add a information or wording, I should say, regarding a certified welder, and also provide an R-stamped repair tag indicating the date of repair, which would be placed on the boiler. So neither of those items transpired. So my recommendation to the board would be to move to the next lowest bid, which would be the HT Lions bid.
So did they provide that?
They did, yes. They provided a Firewatch also, and also a certified welder and certified inspection upon completion of work.
Certified inspection, does it carry like any kind of like warranty of the work, or?
Doesn't labor and industry get involved in these?
Josh, maybe you would know the answer. I'm not sure about labor and industry. We would have to contact, upon completion, we contact our boiler inspector.
Oh, I see it here.
Yeah, we still do an annual inspection. They might request to see that on one form.
Yeah.
Is this the boiler we talked about in what, January, February?
No,
I'm not sure if it's, no, it hasn't been that long, I don't believe. This has a crack and needs to be repaired as well.
Larry, isn't this the boiler we were talking about in the beginning of the year? Obviously, has this boiler been repaired before?
Yeah, I think they welded on it like a year or two ago.
Okay.
There was a repair on the boiler. I'm not sure if it was this specific one in the past.
Is this?
There was or there wasn't?
There was on a boiler, yes. That was years ago, that there was a repair made. This is something new. I don't know.
This has been several months that we need this repair. I don't know, back to the winter, I don't remember the time.
I think it has. I think this was a discussion, yeah.
The question is this the boiler that's running at half speed because of the?
Right now, it's not running at all.
No, I know, it was running at half speed, or is this one of the two boilers that could?
No, this will function fine once it's repaired, yes, not half speed.
So the answer to my question was, yes, it comes with a warranty of 30 days of the workmanship and the workmanship on labor.
Well, then have we solved the
Combined
drastic
with factory
temperature changes that is causing these boilers to crack? Did we solve that problem? So we're gonna fix this, but if we didn't solve the temperature change, then, you know, what's the sense? That's what's causing this, right?
I'm not aware of that. I don't remember that conversation.
Right? Larry?
Well, that's what Train and some of the others have been saying, that, you know, we get spikes of cold water coming back through the system. And then, weren't they gonna give us a printout or something like that? Josh?
They were gonna do a trend. I'm not sure if they were looking at that service, but a trend of water temperature.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Trends are set up, you know, the wintertime.
All right, so the new system that we put in up there, does this have the capability that if we do have a flow problem and cold water hitting it, that it can be analyzed and digitally corrected?
It does, as far as it tells you what the recurrence of high water temperature is. There might have to be manual adjustments or physical adjustments, maybe your valves or something. You know, mixing it out like you did with the adjustments or anything, but the system can tell us, you know, rapidly what temperatures are.
All right, so we paid a fortune here for a system that can help us analyze these problems, and they were gonna fix a lot of this stuff. And here we are, the boiler's been sitting there for almost 6 months tore apart, and we haven't done nothing.
Has Train completed their project?
We drag Train back in here or what?
Well, the boiler is damaged and needs to be repaired. The cause of that, you know, I don't know what the cause of that is. It's speculation for you to say what the cause of that crack is, so I don't know.
So, I mean, obviously, it's not gonna work if it's not repaired. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so we need to take some action on whether to repair it or not, and then figure out who and what's to blame afterwards.
And this is.
Well, no, obviously repairing's the answer, but if we're not solving the temperature change, we're gonna revisit this time and time again, so I don't understand why we wouldn't address that at the same time.
Well, and this is a heating boiler, am I correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, not the hot water, domestic hot.
I mean, so what's the solution to address it at the same time, let's say? I mean, obviously, we'll make a decision here who to accept or repair it, but how,
Obviously,
what comes
right.
first, the chicken or the egg? We fix it, figure it out?
We will see for the start of the heating season in the fall. Prior to that, we will see if any adjustments to what had been happening need to be made. Like I said, at this point,
You can't do nothing.
I can't speculate, you know, I know that there was a long-time boiler service company that maybe had some ideas of what was happening, but I don't know. You know, I don't know what the what
Well,
the prior adjustments were, what the prior settings were, you know, if they were changed, if they were overridden at some point.
So-
Well, this ran for 20 years, did it not? The spoiler?
No, obviously we repaired it once before.
Well, yeah, but it's
It's
still,
the original, probably since we opened.
Yeah, it was,
Original, yes.
so if we make when we make this repair, can we count on someone to do that follow-up? That's, I guess, what I'm asking.
Yes,
That'll be part of the maintenance or follow-up with this repair, right?
it will.
Okay.
All
I
right,
would just
so-
ask that the minutes reflect that, please.
But for me to say right now, Lisa, what caused it, I don't know.
No, I understand. I understand that, so.
All right, so who can we get here to send Train a letter describing what we need done and give them a time frame of when we want it?
Well, what we have to do, Larry, is look at what the original piping design and control sequence indicated as far as how they wanted the heating loop to operate. Like I said, I don't know if there have been changes made along the way. There have been, you know, settings that were overridden or changed at some point, but we just need to understand what the piping arrangement was intended to do. And if we do need to make programming changes for valves opening and closing, that, you know, we get that in front of Train and have them make those types of logic or sequence adjustments prior to October 15th, when those boilers are started back up.
Okay.
is this spoiler the one that's tied into the domestic hot water?
No.
No,
No, okay, because one of them is it not?
Well, the entire heating loop can be directed towards the domestic
That's
system,
okay.
but it's
So we had the pipe.
not individual boiler based, no.
All right, so I understand where you're at, Josh. Can we send Train a letter, either the school district or yourself, and set a date up to have a meeting to have this discussion to make sure that they're lined up to go figure this problem out?
Right, so, yeah,
We can at least alert them that there is an issue. We believe it may be thermal shock related. We do need to take a look at the primary, secondary loop sequencing and temperatures. But like I said, until we really dig into it, I don't know how much direction we can give them at this point as far as what adjustments need to be made.
so maybe just a
We gotta
letter.
start somewhere, and I don't want to start in November or December.
So, yeah, just a letter to be aware. And then when prior to, or at the same time or something, that the heat is going to be turned on, someone should be there to evaluate that. Is that correct?
Yeah, we can help you draft the
So
language.
just let the minutes reflect that as what you said. And
All right, and then when we're talking Train here,
wait, let's
Go ahead.
do one thing at a time.
uh,
Right, so let's just make a motion, if you so choose, to accept HT Lions quote for $7,730 for the repair of the boiler.
So
Motion by George. I'll second it. Anything else, discussion on that?
So, Scott, they're taking care of the refractory also or not?
No, they are not. No, they did not deem that necessary, where L&L did, HG Lions is recommending not to replace that or repair it. They're saying there's no need for it. Conditions,
Are you
the
okay with that?
conditions just show normal wear and tear, but it still has the integrity.
did they give us what they're gonna do on it? I noticed the L&L boiler gives us a nice complete printout, basically what they're gonna do,
It's like
testing and
one,
everything else.
yeah, it's one by one by one.
Is HT Lions gonna do the same thing?
Do what? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The same as,
L&L boiler.
The same as
maintenance.
L&L.
They're gonna open the rear door, they're gonna do a hydrostatic.
Yes, however, they're not gonna remove the, and replace the refractory, which is what we were just discussing. They're not gonna replace the tiles in there. HT Lions is not, they don't deem it necessary to do such.
But they're gonna do-
Everything else is gonna be done, yes, correct.
okay,
right, but they're guaranteeing we're gonna get the we're gonna have a certified welder and we're gonna get
Right.
the thing certified.
That says right
That's
here.
correct.
Okay.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. C&D waterproofing, Resica roof replacement, change order, number 1. So it's less money. Can I just, wait a minute, let me back up here a minute.
So for Restica, for C&D, there are two things. One is the credit change order, and the related document is their final payment request, which would reflect the deduction of their contract amount by that credit change order. So it's essentially their unused project allowance. I don't think we really hit any unforeseen decking conditions or, poor substrate conditions out there. So we were able to return that allowance back to the district in the amount of $28,556, which comes off their contract amount. So that's the formal change order that adjusts their contract amount accordingly. And then if you turn the page on their payment request, you'll see that their contract amount is adjusted accordingly. So their payment request number 10 would be the final payment for the amount of $35,757.
There you go, Larry. You get your money back, or not money back, but
Bid one.
a reduction.
that's probably a first.
There you go.
Bid one.
Do we have to, we have to make a motion to accept that, or no? It's just what it is, right? Anybody out there?
I think, Lisa, because it does actually change an awarded contract amount, the board does need to formally adopt that change order.
I agree. You can't be wrong by making a
Okay,
motion.
I will make that motion to accept that change order from C&D Waterproofing. Does anybody want to second that?
Yes,
All
we all
right.
do.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm not on
Applications
video.
for payment. We got lots of them here. Do you want me to read them off, or we just C&D waterproofing for Resica Elementary roof repair? Cope Commercial Flooring, Resica Elementary floor.
I've been involved for-
Lehigh Valley floor covering for JT Lambert. CRCS Inc., High School South Camera Installation, payment number 4. Gynet Communications, JT Lambert Intermediate Camera Replacement, and Jotten Inc. for High School North and Lehman Intermediate Roof Replacement.
Yes, these are all progress payments for summer projects. One, CRCS, in the project.
In this building, last summer, we had withheld $1,500 until we got their closeout documents, which we did receive, so they billed for that.
So the
balance.
final payment, right?
Dave's here not just to look good, but if you would like any updates on the summer project status related to the payments, he's happy to give any updates you guys might.
Related to these invoices?
Yeah,
Okay,
Are these final invoices for the flooring and all? Or-
they are not.
No.
They are
I haven't looked on that closely, that's why I asked.
number 2.
so the roof investigation, wait. That's 100%, wait. These invoices always confuse me, I'm sorry.
Can't hear you, Lisa. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so the roof replacement, the roof investigation, I'm sorry, for North and Lehman.
Where are you at?
The first invoice on the top of my stack here. I don't know.
C&D?
Am I on the wrong thing? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong page. Never mind. Go back.
You have a past stack, you have a
Yeah, I
stack.
got the stacks underneath. I get them all confused all the
There's
time.
a
Oh,
whole
that
stack.
does remind me of a question I do.
Okay.
It starts
I don't know. Does anybody have any questions?
starts
I
with
do.
30 from 61.
The Resca roof is complete, right?
It is.
Did Middle Smithfield Township require a building permit for this?
They did, which we got.
Okay, and so then we need them to do a final inspection so I can get a certificate of occupancy to close that out.
Yeah, I'll have to see how it read, if it was a CO or what their terminology was, but we can.
Certificate of completion.
Yes.
And do we have paperwork for that? That says it was all inspected and done right?
Well, we have that from the manufacturer who provides the warranty. Middle Smithfield would probably just, indicate their acceptance via signature or something on the document.
Well, are we holding any money, but are we holding any money back on that until they get the certificate? Or the inspection?
Is this the only job they're doing is Resca?
Yeah,
C&D?
yes.
Yeah,
I mean, we should also.
we should hold something back.
10% or 15% back. If we're,
That
until we get the
makes, that's
inspection.
smart business.
I'm sorry.
We,
George, can you speak into the
Yeah.
mic? I can't hear you.
Speak into the mic,
Is
because,
that better?
no, don't push the button. Just bring it down to your mouth a little
Is
bit.
that better?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that should we go back on the Resca roof, pending the passing of the inspection. We've gotten ourselves in trouble before where we pay everybody and then they gotta come back to finish it. So I want to make it hurt them a little bit if we don't, if they don't come back in, or if it doesn't pass inspection. So that's where I'm coming from.
I agree.
Maybe I'm wrong, but-
No, I agree with it. So do we have a date when that's going to transpire? Do we even know?
We can get them out there as soon as they're available.
I mean, so potentially we could pay if we get that before the board meeting.
I believe they do have time limitations once you request the inspection.
It's usually within 72 hours,
Okay, so
Yeah.
this would be, if we receive it before board action for July's board meeting. Otherwise,
Yeah, I'll give you.
we could hold 10% until we get that. Just talking out loud, and is that what we're saying here?
Withhold 10%, is that what we're going to do?
Well, if we don't get the CEO or the CC before the board meeting this month.
Well, I hope we do something like that.
Well, I think there's no reason we shouldn't be able to do that.
We can do that.
So I guess, Josh, you could just let us know.
Yes, we will.
That would be
I
appropriate.
mean, all these major projects, we should be.
Right.
have a-
Well, yeah, just for the final, if there's any
For the
final
final payment.
approval or inspection or whatever, but,
whether it's flooring, whether it's-
so the two flooring projects, where are we at with those? Are we,
Come on, Dave.
Are looking good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll start with the Cope floorings at Resica. They are scheduled to be finished the week of the 13th of July. They have a majority of they have all the classrooms done, all the classroom rooms are completed. The library has carpet. They're getting ready to start doing carpet replacement in the admin area. The pod is completely finished, and they're starting the hallways this week. So they're moving right along with that project, and they're like I said, they're scheduled to be finished up in the second week of July. And that's where I would like to thank Scott and his team. They've been able to really accommodate the contractors with getting areas cleared out in a timely fashion, and it's really made the transition between areas very smoothly.
great,
So it's been a big help with getting that project moving along. Would you like me to move on to, or you want to make a decision at each one?
no, we'll move on. Just keep going.
Okay, then we'll move on to JT Lambert.
Greener is not done, so
Yep.
it's just a Okay.
And then JT Lambert, again, is moving along just as well. They have the 3rd floor complete classroom wing and any auxiliary rooms in that area. They should be wrapping up the 2nd floor at the end of this week, and then they'll be moving on to doing demolition in the pod starting on the 6th, and then moving into the 1st floor where they're going to start in the hallway and then work their way into the classrooms. And then as they finish the pod, they're going to start then falling back and working in doing the library. And that's going to be kind of a task because some of the bookshelves, we're going to be moving things around and then getting a layout together. So they're moving right along. It's a larger school, so they're not as far along as Resica, but they're, progress has been made, and everything's looking good there as well. And again, Scott and Rob have been a big help there as well with getting everything moved and and then bringing everything back into the classrooms so we can cleaning can commence and get everything ready for the new school year. Then I'll move on to JT Lambert security cameras. They are complete 100%, Anthony, at JT Lambert, and then we're waiting for them to do some work over at Smithfield Elementary.
So, all right, let's do the JT Lambert cameras that are complete, right? So same thing, is it good? Have we inspected it? It's good. We don't need to hold anything back.
Nope, and we're going to use some of the allowance money to get some other project cameras added and replaced over at Smithfield Elementary as well.
We were only holding $1,500 anyhow, weren't we?
No, George, that was for here. That was a different project.
Pardon?
That was for a different project. That was for the South High School cameras, the $1,500.
Right.
Right.
We're on the
I'm down on line item number 5.
We weren't there, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. All right, and then number 6, we have the roof we're on Lehman's side now. As of this morning at about 10 o'clock, the library and gym is fully on the base sheet. So we've, knocked on wood, have not had any leaks. I get to walk outside and see, Dr. Recker, you'll be really happy, clean spaces around the school. And it's been quite a difference between this year and last year. So I'm very hopeful that we're going to keep rolling on and have a very successful summer with this roof project. They're going to get everything under cap sheet for the gym and library at the end of next week, fully under cap, and then they're going to be moving on to the office area, which I've already started working with the staff in the office to prepare them for either moving or being prepared for the smells and noises that are going to go on with the the re-roofing project there. The Masons as well, they will have complete all of phase 1 area by the end of next week, and they'll be starting to make do through-wall flashing replacement over at the gym. So then that should be able to help with the gym floor replacement as well on the Lehman side.
Okay, so we don't have an issue with the water and then doing the gym because we're doing that, right?
I do have a question.
Yep.
Prior to the demolition of the Lehman Intermediate roof, did you take photos?
Yes, I have drone
Do we have
photos.
reports?
I have drone photos of the entire site to log anything that's damaged or anything like that, as documentation for before they even had anything on site.
Okay.
All right, and we get copies of that.
Share that with me.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know Lyman and Nash was looking to have someone available when they started peeling that roof away.
Oh, and I've been doing daily photos as well. Yeah.
Critically important that we communicate with Lyman and Nash.
He was on, but he's not on anymore. I was going to.
Okay, so Wayne, I actually spoke with Cletus just yesterday. We were in touch with them. You might remember that at the end of last summer, there was still some water coming in at the cafeteria. And our thought was it was most likely the storefront system, the window system. So we actually arranged to have a contractor come out and take a very small piece of that system apart. And it does look as if we want to investigate that further. I spoke with Cletus yesterday, and they will be providing another notification to the contractors and setting up a date where those systems as well can be investigated further and have things open for a forensic investigation. So he's working on providing a date for that effort as well.
Okay.
Did we already start the Lehman side of project?
Yes, the high gym part was the first one that was completed, and then they dropped down and were working
The high gym part, that's
Yes.
where we had the leaks.
They started there to stay ahead of the gym floor, yep.
Okay, so that answers my question, right? So we won't have any,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah, going back to that.
And before the flooring project starts, they'll be under cap sheet, so we'll have this full hoop system minus the flood code ground.
Okay,
So we'll have 2 layers of everything on top before we get started with the.
okay, sounds good.
All right, if I may,
Go ahead.
going back to the cameras,
Yes,
you said they're finishing up at JTL, right?
they are completed.
Okay, and then they were gonna go down and work at, Smithfield?
Yes.
Okay, what's going on there?
They're going to be updating any older cameras that are there, and then we're going to be adding some cameras to get 100% coverage in and out of the school.
Okay, well, those cameras were all replaced a couple of years ago. That was the first school we did, right?
Anthony, maybe you'll.
Correct, okay.
That was 3 years ago.
Okay, but they're not obsolete already, I hope. Because if they are, I'm not gonna be a happy camper.
They are substantially higher quality and can store a longer amount of.
Okay, so basically we're adding some cameras.
And there were several blind spots still from
Okay,
previous install that adding several cameras is going to give us much wider visibility to give us the same saturation that we have in all of our.
I got no problem with that, but, I mean, those cameras were top quality. That was the first school that we did to see how they worked and, I mean, you know, they did a great job, so I don't want to throw them out the door in 3 years.
Is that the question you had before? You had something else?
I got a whole bunch of questions.
All right, do you want to just go through these and then
Yeah.
we can have discussion
Yep,
at the end there?
yep.
Okay. All right, we're done, right? You did 1 through 6, right?
Yeah, we have all of you covered. Does anybody have any questions about?
On 6. On the holding the payment, we want to hold about 700,000, right? I know we have 2,300 or 2,300,000 left on it. Which probably we want to look at.
Which
But
project?
what are you talking, number 6, the North Lehman?
North Lehman Intermediate.
This is just this isn't a final payment or anything.
No, I just wonder, we should probably let the contractor know.
What, at the end? You mean at final? Is that what you're saying?
Should we let them know now or should we let them know at the end?
Okay.
I don't understand, what's the question?
I think, you mean when the project's complete, that will, before we get a CO
The
or
last
something?
700,000, we're not going to give the contractor until we get the certification by the CO and all by county.
Well, it wouldn't be 700, wait, no.
By county.
Oh, he's saying he wants certification on the roof before the final payment for that.
Okay, all
Yeah, we
right,
need to we should let the contractor know, that's what I'm saying.
okay,
So before he comes with
Gotcha.
the final
All right.
invoice.
And then we say, oh, you're not going to get it.
yeah, I don't know that you can stipulate what that percentage is, but we will
Hold
make
something
sure that there is.
We should have put it in our spec bid, but
Well, we'll just make it the final payment.
That's what he's saying.
I'm just saying we should let them know.
Then we don't have to worry about your percentage.
Maybe we could just let him know that we expect it when he submits the final payment.
All right,
We expect a CO or whatever.
do we have all the warranty paperwork from the manufacturer and stuff?
For Rusco, we do, for phase 1 of Lehman, of the high school, we do, yeah.
Okay.
We good? So who wants to make a motion to accept application payments 1 through 6 with the stipulation on number 1, C&D waterproofing, that if we don't get is it the CC or the CO?
Either or.
We're gonna call Sean
Either
Glenn
or by the
tomorrow
board
and see.
meeting, we will hold 10% back for the final
I
payment.
found out this morning he's no longer there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Well, so Judy-
is that good, Rebecca? You got that? Okay.
So moved.
So George makes that motion.
Second the motion.
Wayne
So what are we
seconds.
withholding then from C&D waterproofing? I'd like to write that down.
We're withholding 10% unless
10%.
we get that CO by the board meeting. If you give us confirmation that it's accepted, we see it.
No, I want written, no verbal.
Which one are we talking
Right.
about, the Resica, right?
No, yes, Resica, I'm sorry.
Well, we can't, it only has, how much does it have left on it?
Well, they're looking
Well,
for
the final payment is
35.
$35,757.95. So we'll
We're
withhold.
gonna withhold that.
1,575.
I'm not sure.
$3,500 is a walk away from it. They don't care.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not an
I mean,
attorney. I'm not
If
sure.
it was of the 666,000, 10%, 66,000.
Well, George, I'm okay if we hold all the entire payment until we
That's what I'm
receive
saying.
it. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, yeah. We'll hold
And
it,
they should be okay with that.
because that's only 5% of the project.
Yeah.
All right. So
We will
We'll
follow
withhold
up with
it
the township
unless we
and
get
make sure that you guys get that final
the
paperwork.
CO by the, you send us the documentation by the board meeting. So it was first and second, right?
Yep.
Lost my train of thought. All in favor of that?
Well, just a quick question. They already bought the permit, right? And the inspection was included in the price.
Well, the district pays for the permit fees.
right.
So yeah, that's already
So it's basically just the detail that's gonna get finished up, right?
correct.
That's right.
So, yeah, when we get the paperwork, we'll pay them.
Okay.
So all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Just a quick question. Do we know how much that permit was? And if you don't, just really quick, if you don't.
I don't
It's for my-
offhand.
That's okay.
I don't.
Yeah,
We'll
if you
find
find
out.
it, let me know. It's just for my own reference.
Okay.
For MCTI.
Yeah.
Reference to that.
Well, can we?
Each minute set up.
Scott or Rebecca look that up for both Resica and the North Campus project?
Yeah, that'd be just
find
for
it.
our own 411.
North Campus is around $870.
Yeah, we have that in
in
our
our records. I don't have it on hand, but yes.
We can look at that,
Okay,
sure.
sure.
I'd like to see it,
Yeah, just let us know.
I got a copy of that
Us
today.
MCTIers want to know. Okay, Dewey Engineering invoices.
Public records.
1 through 5. Anybody have any questions or comments? You want to go one at a time? High school north roof replacement?
no, we're.
Anyone?
The only one I got a question on is the pool ground.
Yeah. So-
So.
Update on the, I just got an email, something about the pool.
It's on our agenda for discussion.
Yeah, well, the bids are due next Tuesday
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you,
with
Scott.
that.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we'll wait for that. We just have the
Okay.
invoices. Any other questions about the invoices for doing?
So this is just for the phase 1 of the North Campus, the 12,000.
Well, this is start of phase 2 as well.
This is, okay. Well, I say that because it says 100% complete.
And then under it says.
Yeah, task 1, that was the initial report phase, so that's been at that amount for a long time. So
Okay,
task 2 is the actual construction phase,
got it.
services, design.
Got it.
Okay, so anyone want to make a motion to pay Dewey Engineering invoices 1 through 5? I'll make that motion.
I'm just curious, the water filtration, that's the, we're still,
Yeah, in fact, I had sent an update today,
Yeah.
including the permit application status for each project. We can circulate that to the entire board with the update.
because that's what we were waiting to see is the, do we do anything with the DEP on that? Yeah.
Still like
We're
in,
still cranking away. You know, their offices have been closed since the end of March. and working with them remotely has been extremely challenging. Let's put it that way.
I understand.
But it is in your email, because I
It
just
is.
saw
So-
your email before I came.
Talking to some of the other designers in the office today, they said, hey, why don't we do a breakout Zoom meeting? If you guys want to, go into more depth than we can get into in this meeting, we'd really like to take you through the process and just really get into the details if you guys are interested, because it can be a lengthy discussion. And we just want to, go through the technical details of it. We're still looking at the public water supply option, especially for Resica. In fact, we've started an application process to get PA American started with what would it take to get service to your building. So there's no bidding or anything, but it's just an initial step for a service application. So that's another thing we're looking at for PA American. Now, that process would take a year itself just for them to plan, engineer it. What they did say is any other potential client would tap off of the line that they would install for the district would then be credited back in some capacity to the district for, tapping fees for the other clients. So we certainly don't have a full payback analysis on that, but that is something that's still on the table, so to speak, as far as a future public supply option.
All right,
But we are moving forward.
do they realize that their water line is, and I assume our property goes to the edge of the road there. They don't have a clue that they've already got water to our property
At which building?
at Resica.
No, the word is that it's 3,000 feet to get to the rest of the property from their closest line.
No. Hey, they got valves and whatever right there at the corner of.
Max Gravel Ridge.
Yeah, Tomix and Gravel Ridge.
Okay, so to get from that intersection up to the building, it's about 3,500 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That could be.
but, I'm sure we could hire a contractor to bury pipe way cheaper than paying them.
Oh, yeah.
How does that work legally?
I mean, we can look at all options, but.
Well, you're just in the informational stage with water.
Right.
At what point do we make a decision here? This has been going on a very long time.
We're still trying to get information. We just found out.
Well, I know, but it's been,
Well, we're still proceeding with the filtration, as the immediate solution, and even immediate for DEP is.
I think the Zoom meeting may be a good way to start with the DEP, the Zoom meeting.
Well, that wouldn't necessarily be with DEP.
Well,
that would be
whatever with you.
it
our
would be
office.
with you guys, the information.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Larry, how much cheaper you're thinking it would be with, because even PA American would sub it out, they probably wouldn't do the work themselves, like UGI doesn't do their own construction.
I understand that.
You're
I
still
mean,
subject to
how many,
prevailing
what
wages.
did they say, 300 and what?
It's approximately 3,500 or 3,800 linear feet to get from that intersection to the building.
Okay. And what was the estimated quick cost?
I didn't get a cost, I think Scott had a cost from PA American. But again, that would only take it to the property, I believe. There'd still need to be an extension from the property line.
That's correct.
Meter pit, all the other materials that would go along with it to actually get it into the building.
All right, so what is DEP requesting us for how many tanks? How big a tank? Can we tie into the central system? What are those answers?
Those answers are still pending, Wayne, because we're still working, we're trying to get answers from DEP.
Yeah, DEP's been shut down. Yeah.
Well, everyone's allowed to work from home, so can I mean,
Give them a call and tell them that.
they're getting paid.
So one thing we do need to do is confirm the well pump sizing at both schools. We have information, I don't know if it's from Prosser or who, for Resica. There's no information provided for Smithfield. And it's really critical that we get that pump size in so that we can make sure that there's not a situation of too much pressure loss through the new filters for that pump. So I've reached out to Scott's department to see if we can pull those pumps. I understand that's quite an effort, you know, unfortunately with the steel pipe that's in the ground that needs to be pulled up in sections, but without that information, that's just another unknown that we're dealing with as far as how to size and design the system.
Well, no, wait a minute, don't, at Middle Smithfield, doesn't the pump pumps it into a pit and then it sucks it out of there and pressurizes it to go to the school?
The pump pumps it into through a chlorine feed system and into a 1,000-gallon holding tank,
Right.
which is a chlorine holding tank. From there, it's pumped into the building through pumps.
Right.
The filters, the water still needs to travel through filters at about a 20 psi pressure loss. So we just need to make sure that the incoming pressure going through the filters is enough.
Okay, but that would be the pumps that physically sit there in the basement, not the well pump. You don't have to pull the well out because the well pump is just pumping it into the 1,000-gallon tank.
It is, but we don't know at what rate it can be replenished.
Well, you can look at the breaker size there, whatever the average is, you can figure out how many horsepower it is without pulling the pump. And it's not that deep.
Yeah, it's just a lot of assumptions.
I think Matt Hirsch has information on that somewhere. Because that well's not that deep. I've seen the paperwork somewhere.
Okay, well, I mean, we've requested it a few times. We don't have anything, so I don't know what else to do at this point.
Wayne, did we find paperwork for Middle Smithfield when we found Resica's?
What information are you looking for?
The depth of the well and the year and stuff?
No, Middle Smithfield wasn't very accommodating.
And Matt Hirsch does not have that information. Josh, Matt and I had this conversation that we're having right now, beginning of this week. And Matt is going to continue some research, and if we can't find anything out, then we're going to have to go move forward with pulling the pumps. Trying to avoid that if we can, but that's what we'll do. But there may be another avenue. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
Matt Hirsch does not have any information on Middle Smithfield pumps. Again, we had this conversation, Matt, Josh, and I, just a few days ago this week, and we were discussing this. And there is one area that I noticed to Matt for him to check out, where perhaps we have some information. I'm not real confident on that. However, he is going to check into that. If not, then we will have to go with physically pulling the pumps. So we're working towards that.
That will certainly answer the question.
Well, so I have a first and a second for Dewey invoices. So are we all in favor of paying the invoices?
Yes.
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 Anyone? Wayne?
So moved.
Larry? I want a final yes for Dewey's invoices, and then we can have lots of other discussion.
Well, the only other question I got here is the grouting system. So,
Yeah, well, that's discussion next, right? You mean for the pool?
yeah, for the
Yeah,
pool.
so that's down here. So are we approved for Dewey invoices? Yes, all in favor?
Yes, so moved.
Thank you. Okay, so,
Now to get
you want to
back
go,
the-
you want to go to the grout first, Larry? Or do you want to move
Let's go
along?
back- let's go
Yeah,
back.
do we know?
Answer
have
your
you?
question. We haven't made any progress yet on on the
No,
water system?
pretty much no, I got that.
Okay.
Yes, I got it. But thank
So
you. Thank
so
you.
we're gonna keep bugging, we're gonna keep
Yeah,
bugging
not that we
Scott
haven't
on
made
that.
progress, George, we're not able to complete the application process until we have some more information, both on our end with the district, but also DEP
And it's
feedback.
frustrating because of DEP,
And we just,
basically.
you know, we can't get answers from DEP to allow us to fill out portions of the application. So we're just kind of,
Just in limbo.
we are making progress, it is slow, but, you know, I won't say that nothing has been done in the past month.
You'll get the question next month.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say the same thing again. All right, Gee, do we want to talk about the pool first?
Yeah, I want to know if
Okay, high school,
we got specs ready to put it out to bid, or?
Yeah, it's out. In fact, we had a pre-bid meeting last week. Bids are actually due on Tuesday of next week. Now, one thing that came up today, so the district actually drained the pool, I'm not sure when, maybe Monday or late last week. And Dave just sent me some photos today of some drains that we want to take a look at, because the piping looks pretty corroded and closed up. So I want to make sure that if there are any larger piping issues, that those are also looked at, and we don't just, grout out the pool, put water back in it, and then need to do piping repairs as early as next year already. So I think we just need to take a look at those things a little bit closer. In fact, Dave and I are going to head back down after the meeting tonight and see if we need to make any quick adjustments to what's already out to bid as far as any other repairs.
Yeah, we don't want to be doing this next year again.
so even though the bids are due on Tuesday, we can get some progress done.
All right,
Maybe.
so I can't hear you.
I said, even though the bid is due next Tuesday, is
So
that correct?
we had projected a start date, I think, of like August 5th for them. Now, again, if you remember last time we talked about, we knew that the bids wouldn't be ready for tonight, but if the finance committee would be willing to accept them and recommend them,
Mhm.
the board could still make the award at the July board meeting. And then, a week or two for contracts to be signed, and then they could have approval come, I think I said October 5th to September 9th. That would then allow enough cure time of any grout or sealant. The pool could then be filled back up again, and by October 1st, which was the date that the swim team needed it back, it would be back in service at that point.
All right, so are we doing tile, or are we doing some other type of?
So what we decided, Larry, is that the tile itself is in very good condition. It's the grout joints that needed to be replaced. And it's an expansion ceiling joint that's got a third of the way down the pool that needs to be repaired and replaced, because that's where a lot of the water is actually sinking into the concrete shell. So that repair is included, the grouting is included. In our perspective, it did not make sense to chip out and remove all of the tile and go back with a new finish. I know that we talked about a diamond finish maybe and some other options, but really looking at the condition of tile, we thought that you could potentially cause more issues by trying to chip out and remove what was already there than just regrouting the tile in place. So that's the scope of work, is to regrout.
Makes sense.
So I guess my question again is like the piping that you said you're gonna check out and stuff like that. And make sure they're good. Will that hold the project up? Maybe?
Well, I mean, depending on what we find,
Yeah.
if it's something that, maybe Matt's department in-house can clean out, maybe replace fittings if needed. I don't know until we go take a closer look.
All right.
There's no structural damage. That was our intent, for us to clean that out and replace the grates ourselves in-house,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so,
I'll be discussing with Matt tomorrow, and then he has a meeting with Scott, so we'll,
okay.
after our, we'll have that.
So possibly looking for it to be on the finance agenda for their approval, for recommendation, I guess, not approval, but Okay. Let's go back to high school North Wrestling Room update.
Maintenance has completed the demo of the room and they patched any necessary areas on the walls. They patched the walls,
Here, Larry.
they removed
Get a
outlets.
close, get a little closer.
Wow, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
swallow.
swallow.
Sorry.
Larry's far away.
Way down there.
Demo has been completed with in-house maintenance staff and the walls have been patched. Outlets have been removed from the walls and covered. And lighting was relocated to retrofit the room area. Next week, we have some framing of some walls that we need to install to protect some IT equipment and the electrical panels. Matting is expected to arrive within the wall matting and the floor matting is expected to arrive within 5 to 6 weeks. And a work order has been placed for the painting of the room itself. So we're moving along there.
All right.
We'll be completed in-house within, I would say, the next 2 weeks. And then we'll be waiting on the delivery and placement of the matting.
Okay.
Has that stage system been removed yet, or
The what?
Which stage system?
the thing that is on the, between the room and the cafeteria?
The large black box you're referring to, Larry,
No,
is it on the wall?
well, yeah, that, but I thought there was something that pulled it out into the cafeteria, like a stage or.
No, there's a divider wall, which is not going to be removed. That's what your accordion type, that's not going to be removed. No, nothing is going to be done with that. No, that's not going to be, if that's what you're referring to.
Okay. All right, and then the box, is that gonna be removed, or?
Now there's a large black box, which is iTech, and I believe that is for.
That drives the PA
PA
system for the
thank you.
cafeterias.
Right.
They have their own closed microphone system in there, but it also ties into the main PA system.
That cannot be removed, so that's one of the areas where we will be constructing walls around that and drywalling that. And then adding a replace on that drywall.
Okay.
That's what I was speaking about earlier, that's the work that we still have remaining as far as maintenance, and that should be finished up, I would say, within the next 2 weeks. So we'll be ready in plenty of time for the delivery and install of the matting.
Well, that's exciting. They'll be happy to get that, right?
So we better go back to school and all this.
That's right. Okay, how about high school north pavement evaluation? Anybody? What are we doing with this? This is just the information.
So, yeah, this was in, these were the core samples that were requested to be done. I think there were, what, 12 of them?
Yeah, we did 12, one in each kind of.
12 of them. So, you know, we've been talking about the paving issues up there for a long time. So obviously, we just wanted to get some more representative samples of what is up there. So this was a testing company that took 12 core samples throughout the areas. And, you know, just indicated the thickness of the materials. So for the asphalt, there's a base course of asphalt, which usually has larger aggregate stone in it, and a wearing course on top of that with some finer aggregate stone in it. So their report indicates what the wearing course thickness and base course thickness is in what they have found. And also indicated a column for subbase, which is the material directly below the pavement. You know, as well as the thickness. So aggregate would indicate stone aggregate, soil mixture, you know, essentially would either be virgin soil or some type of material that is not a typical stone aggregate base. So, you know, there were quite a few that indicated with the paving was a soil mixture as opposed to stone aggregate that you typically find on there. So, again, this was a sampling of areas, not focused on any one particular area. I had a conversation with Larry. I think it's kind of a starting point. It's certainly not something that is intended to be a conclusive report by any stretch, but if there are conditions that you feel need to be investigated further in certain locations, we would recommend following up with additional excavation or investigation. This was kind of more intended to be sampling throughout the entire area.
So basically, did you find it to be substandard?
So what? All we
Can I ask a question before you answer that? Because
Go ahead.
I just want to understand the wearing course, the base course, and the sub course. So if you look down at the average, so is it those total together equals exactly what the average is there?
So there was
So
an
like-
average of the samples, the average thickness of wearing course was 2¼ inches.
Right.
It ranged in.
So all those averaged, all those total together would give you the overall thickness, correct?
Overall.
Average, yes. Okay, go, George. I'm sorry. I just want to understand what I'm talking about first, what you're talking about. Do you remember the question?
Yeah, the question was it, so basically, I don't know this is general.
Yeah.
Did we find it substandard?
Was it substandard? Okay.
And we also have to, this is part of the drainage system. So we can't do the driveway until we get the drainage system. So even though we could do this for 3 years, we've got probably another 2 or 3 years before we get this further along.
But what did the, I don't know if you even know this, like plans call for depth? Oh,
Yeah, so that's exactly my point. So as far as if it's substandard or not, obviously we want to have compaction tests of when it's placed, that's also an important factor. We do have a detail sheet from the original architectural and civil plans, which indicate that the paving profile consists of an 1.5-inch wearing course and a 3-inch base course, along with a 12-inch crushed stone base course,
it's a sub base, right?
sub-base.
Did the core samples indicate that?
So
No.
as you can see, based on this report, they would not have.
We're missing
that.
big time sub base.
Right.
That's what it looks like.
So again, that is based on these details without any knowledge if they were changed at some point, either prior to or during construction. I'm only going by what we have available to compare it to. And I can tell you that it is not what it was on.
Yeah, the sub base is really disturbing.
All right,
Not surprising.
is there, I think moving forward here, can we set up a time that we can get together, the district and you and Dave and Lyman and Ash, so that we can talk about moving forward?
Sure. And, I know to George's point, he's always asking, well, okay, what do we do next? What's next? I think when we did the height investigation with the camera, we identified certain stretches of pipe that was collapsed completely. And I think initially when we spoke, we said, well, we know that we're going to have to repair this at a bare minimum. We're going to have to repair it. So I think that would also serve as a good investigation, so to speak, as far as what else might we find when we do this. So you can kind of, kill two birds with one stone, so to speak. You can fix the pipe, but also get a better feel for what are the conditions out here on a larger scale, not just a little 4-inch core sample, but when we open up a larger area, what are we finding?
Well, the fact that we don't have a sub base, which is where the pipes basically are running through, is that correct?
No, the pipes are much deeper. The pipes in some cases 20 feet below grade. you know, the sub basis that I think is directly below the median.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so maybe when we talk about future projects, we can warn some projects, we can keep in mind, let's think about this stretch of piping replacement up north. We're gonna have to do it at some point, and it might shed some light on other areas out there.
Well, that should complete our general fund.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, just while we're talking about the north, Josh, too, I don't remember if it was you or Dave that I talked to maybe a while back about the detention basin that's down on the other side of the football field. And if you guys had a transit that you could set up and see, you know, the relationship between the top of the drain and the, you know, and the berm around it to hold the water in. Did you guys ever have the opportunity to do that?
We did not. I'm trying to think, Dave.
No.
We have GPS survey equipment, which is not very reliable up there. I mean, we can do a land survey. You know, if you feel it's that sensitive or critical, we do a land survey of that, of the pond. Is it overflowing? Is that the
Well, it did last time we had a basin storm and it washed out, and, you know, we had to hire our contractor to put it back in, we put some concrete pads on it and whatever, but you know, everything up there seems like it sinks and whatever, and, you know, even when that got repaired, you know, using just a handheld, little handheld, looked like the berm was like 3 inches wide.
Okay, we can certainly arrange for a survey, you know, if it has been a continual.
Yeah, how close is your digital stuff?
When it has good satellite coverage, very close, but we seem to be, I don't know if we're fighting two signals or we're not getting.
I forget what it was, Dave.
We had used that when we were doing the survey for the north roof. Because you're able to get points and then it'll plot out an area. And we had issues where the satellites would not connect in areas. And I've actually had the same issues at jail as well. So I think there's satellite issues in this area that with our GPS system, it gives you difficulty and could potentially not get as accurate as, you know, having
like any
certain property. So to that 3 inches, we could say, oh no, it's to where, you know, it was supposed to be built to, but then in reality, it should be 3 inches off. Based on, you know, getting the accuracy based on the satellites.
All right.
Can we?
We should find somebody local to do that. Do you know anybody local or?
No, wait.
Well, I guess it depends on how big of an area. If it's just, you know, a target and you know, a site, we can, if you don't need the whole thing surveyed, we can just do that.
Yeah, we just want to check compare the elevation, you know, spot check from where the drain is. Because when that gets filled up, it's supposed to come up down the drain and then out the pipe into the wetlands down there. Which, like I said, you know, the last time we had a decent storm, it washed it out, and then we had that damage. But
yeah, it should be very rare to overtop the
100-year storm, perhaps.
well, it wasn't that was the thing.
It was, yeah.
You know, I don't remember any recent rains where it should have been that much of an issue. But yeah, we'll determine, you know, what we can do to get that survey.
All right. And, I guess we got to talk to the Browns and to see about getting the thing mowed off so you can get through it. So.
Yeah, Larry, that's the one that's directly behind the home grandstand, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
To
Okay.
the,
I know where you're,
yeah, this is the grandstand, it's to the right, sort of.
correct. Yeah. Okay. Then I know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We had the fiber or the cabling for the North Canvas site go through there. I'm familiar with that general area.
Yeah. Yeah, if you walk, just trot down through the weeds and find your way in there, you'll see the concrete pads that they use to try to keep from washing and whatever.
Let's go to current capital payments and then on to, like, we haven't talked about that or the 5-year capital plan in the last couple of meetings, because we haven't had time. So maybe we can get I guess that's Scott, right? And then, is he still there?
No, he's got his way.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's talk about the summer projects. Obviously, I brought that Larry and I, we all worked on, but maybe we can set a time that we can all get together now that we can kind of meet in person and like review those. So, because we need to make some decisions for summer projects sooner than later. Like some recommendations to give to Josh and his team and also to approve from the board. So that's really what, we don't have to discuss the whole thing tonight, but I think we should set a time.
You're talking for next year. Not this
Yeah,
year.
not this summer, next summer. But we kind of want to get that on the board agenda and give Josh some guidance for next year. Because he's going to complete all these this year and now he needs more work, maybe. So, I mean, I don't know if you have anything in mind or if you just want to kind of think about it and get back to me or.
Yeah, no, we should go down through the list real quick, but we'll do it and touch base with Scott.
From the 13th to the, all the way from the week of the 13th.
Okay, so that's mid.
See, next month is the 6th, so the 13th to the, whatever that, 13th to 20th.
I don't know.
Did Scott make it back?
I got a time check, but can we just go, is there any, before we kind of get, can we just go to any public participation? No public to participate. Okay, we did the motions already. So, Scott, we're at the 5-year capital plan and the current capital projects.
Lisa,
Yes.
there's public participation.
Larry, huh?
Please,
What did I miss?
public participation.
Larry, huh? What happened?
There is public
Oh, there is?
participation.
Where is it? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's Zoom.
I don't have my
I see
whole
one
thing up.
hand up.
I can't see the hands up. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay.
None of us can.
All right, let's go to Keith Carcutt. Sorry.
That's all
Are
right.
you there, Keith?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Keith, we can't hear you.
Hold on. It's all right.
It's gonna be tough. Hold on, we got technical difficulties.
I'm here. Hello? I'm unmuted. Hello? I am unmuted. Hello? I can't hear you if you can hear me. Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
I can't hear you if you can hear me. I just wanted to bring up one thing. I know one thing is thank you for taking the core samples up north. But I wanted to ask one question or have one thing addressed is how were the core samples determined on where they were being taken? Because there were some key areas I looked on the map that you would think we would have taken more core samples by the stairs that we had to reinforce that sunk, and they weren't done there. There were key areas that I don't think they did proper core samples at, and I think it's quite alarming that for almost 15 years we've been asking about this, and it took whoever finally got the core samples. Thank you, but that's alarming to see that the core samples range from anywhere from 1.5 inches to, 8 inches. There's too much inconsistency up there. And then the other question I have is, as far as capital improvements, I noticed that the auditorium for the JTL is still not being addressed as far as the carpeting and such in the auditorium. And I just hate to see that go, because we're putting all this work into the rest of the building and we're failing to address the most important room of all, I think, which is the public room, the auditorium. So I hope we would address that very soon, because that's a very important room in that building, and it's in sad shape. It's in very sad shape. Thank you. I can't hear you now, Lisa.
Okay, we heard, ooh, that's weird. Okay, we heard you like overlay. So I heard about the core samples and your concern that we didn't take certain areas. That's about all I heard. I also heard that JT Lambert, I'm assuming you were talking about the auditorium, but I'm not sure if it was the auditorium or the floor. And that's all I kind of got. Is anybody hear something else?
Correct, it was the auditorium. And I was asking about the core samples by the stairs, how the core samples were determined on where they were actually determined where they would take. There's key areas, it seems, 10, 15 years ago, when we looked with a ruler and a camera, there were a lot of areas that were worse than that. 10, 15 years ago, when we looked with a ruler and a camera, there were a lot of areas that were worse than that.
I'm just gonna interrupt you there because you're still overlaying, but I think we've determined that there's other areas that need to be looked at, and I'm losing my train of thought here, I'm sorry. Josh, sorry, I couldn't think of it. As Josh said, as we investigate further with the storm water, with the storm drains, that we will investigate different areas for the core samples as well. Am I saying that correctly?
So the core samples are like a preliminary investigation.
Yeah.
And then as we move forward with the Newman drain pipe repairs that are needed in certain sections,
We'll get more information. Right. I'm not sure you heard that, Keith, but again, as we move forward, like investigating the storm drains, we'll get more information in different areas of the core samples. This was just a preliminary investigation of certain areas. Like one word or less, tell me what you're talking about with JTL, because I can't get it all.
I'm talking about the auditorium. Auditorium is, the roof is bad.
One word or less. One word or more. Sorry, please. Auditorium. This is like a comedy show.
Yeah, I hear myself talk after I'm done talking. That's how bad.
Well, how about we move forward with the capital really quick? Can you text me what you're saying? Well, how about we move forward with the capital? It's just really, I can't get it all.
I think what he's referencing is conversations way back on doing some projects related to the JTL auditorium.
That's what I think too.
Yeah,
but
and that the committee had looked at doing some work in that JTL auditorium, and we haven't talked about that for a long time. So I think he's just kind of putting that back on the radar as to whether or not the committee is going to look at doing anything in that auditorium.
Okay, well, okay, so we'll come back to the auditorium. Is that on any of this?
I think there's a number of things we haven't got.
Yeah, we're out of time.
Because we really.
How does it work with this? Can we continue, or do we have to end? Okay. Once again, we don't get to capital.
The only update on the capital list was that the high school south
Javelin runway resurfacing has been completed. So that's been moved to the completed
Stage, that would be
second page, bottom.
completed capital projects.
Okay. All right, that's completed.
Everything else
Is the same, either in progress or waiting,
Okay,
to move forward with.
okay. I'm gonna end it there with a motion to adjourn, I guess, and we'll get back to this next month, or if not before. Second. Sorry, Larry. What? Quick.
I wanted to mention to Scott that, you know, when the carpet gets done in the two buildings, you know, he needs to get his guys to service the, you know, clean the filters and stuff, because they sanded all the stuff off the floor to put down the top. And then, there was something else major.
Yeah. Right, they want us.
Oh, we need the contract and the drawings and the bid specs for the two units at, the pod.
We have about 4 or 5 questions.
The units have been covered during the demo of the flooring project. And yes, we are sending our HVAC maintenance techs in afterwards to clean and replace filters.
Okay, well, I went through JTL, and there was nothing covering the unit.
They may have taken off after demo. We kept them on during the demo only. That could have been the case.
All right, and then, like I said, you know, we need paperwork for the heating and air conditioning units and the design of that. Because it's like a rainforest in there, and the other day.
Speaking of exactly, I'm sorry.
Cyber school.
Pods.
Can you discuss after? Does it have to be public?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna discuss that after. And all in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everyone.
Really.
Question. The north. Where are we standing on ductwork?
Ductwork.